Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the issue of fake fertilizer is still fresh in Kenyan people's mind, especially the farmers who went on to buy that consignment and later used only to discover that they were using fake fertilizer, which really affected the outcome of their farm produce. The man at the center was none other than Mithika Linturi, the former CS. But when Mithika Linturi was there, when the impeachment motion was tabled against Mithika Linturi in attempt to impeach him, that's the time we learned that this issue might have been even involved the State House itself, because the impeachment never went through, despite all concrete evidence that amounts to impeaching Mithika Linturi. He never got impeached. So there was this issue. How comes? Kama Mithika Linturi ndiye anakosea hii serikali kwa kuuza mbolea gushi, basi mbona asitolewe? Ruto kakataa kumtoa. Kikuja kwa wabunge, Ruto influence. There was something. But Mithika Linturi had never came out clear to share the information. Yesterday on NTV, Mithika Linturi shared emails, he shared a screenshot, he shared messages to confirm what happened blow by blow. Now, here is the story that he explained in 6 minutes time. How he was in constant communication with the DCI as far as the issue of substandard fertilizer is concerned. KEBS also, there was that communication with the PS industry. The report from these two. So DCI confirmed they had impounded fake fertilizer, but listen to this. The discussion they were in the discussion with the head of public service. Now that's another man, Felix Kosgei, a man domiciled at State House. So this is the issue. KEBS wamesema, DCI wamesema, the product has been impounded. But Felix Kosgei communication is that they must release the impounded consignment as they wait for the KEBS results. KEBS hawajafanya test yao, wanataka kufanya, lakini huu mzigo uachiliwe. So this confirms that the discussion or the decision had already been made beyond DCI. That is now State House. Who is that person above DCI? So the product is already in the market. Mithika Linturi has this information, messages, emails, and everything. Then after that, the KEBS results came. Now it indicated that the compounds in this product failed to comply with the standards. Lakini sasa wamesema ya kwamba product ikuwa released wakingojea results za KEBS. From that, it was clear. This thing was organized all the way from State House. If it was somewhere else, then that person angekiona cha mtamakuni. So mbolea gushi ilikuwa biashara ya State House, sio kwingine. That is what Mithika Linturi came to confirm on camera in NTV.
Received the donated fertilizer. We have been asked to blend it. It has been given to people from blending. The fertilizer has been blended. There are complaints out there about fertilizer not, appearing or looking like it is. And innocently, I defend it completely because I never knew. But only later now, because I had written to NSPB to get to know the composition of the fertilizer they were supposed to sell. Then I also asked Kenyan Bureau of Standards, what is this story that we have substandard fertilizer and yet the surveillance function of your fertilizer, of goods or standards body is the one that is as the mandate of surveillance to get to know what items of what quality are in the market and how to deal with it. So when these issues arose that way and such complaints were there, because this is a letter that came from Mukwana, who was then the PS industry, right? And
I'd like to see copies of
what time what time that the letter was written. I want that letter to flow properly, and because I had made a proper official complaint. Remember, I was also in discussion with NDCI because we wanted to know exactly how these things are happening. And because we're in constant, and it's really unfortunate I have to do this, but because with the conscience I have and the burden I have carried for a long time, and even with the threat of reconstructing files and changing Linturi, the country must know the truth so that nobody hands under any kind of clout that they never knew or shift the blame to Linturi, who never knew anything. And because we are in discussion, you can see what the DCI wrote and told me. They had already the impounded fertilizer that we thought and the issues had already been impounded or confiscated. Mm-hmm. But with indirect, but after discussions, what does it say? After discussions, it has been decided. As for discussions with the end of public service, the consignment must be released.
What the PS has given me to, the CS, former CS has given me to read here is what you say is a screenshot of a message.
Yes.
And in this screenshot, you say the person who wrote this message said, "Morning PS, last evening I discussed the issue of the fertilizer impounded in Mombasa by the multi-agency team with the head of public service. It's been decided that we release the consignment as we wait for the outcome of the KEBS results. You may now proceed and arrange for the collection. Coordinate with Mr. Karaoke CP and gives a number there if you may require any DCI assistance. Regards, M. Amin, DCI, CC, Hops." This is
yes, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. It's a text message.
Of course, we cannot verify the authenticity of this.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm saying it. So it is not your business. I told you I came here to say the truth.
That's okay, but
if anybody wants to put me into question, I am ready.
Yeah, we're just stating that this is what you are saying.
Yes, that's what I am saying. It is not you saying. It is me who is saying, and I'm very clear in my mind.
Now,
so there has been told, what I want you to understand, the people, is a decision has been made. It's even beyond the DCI, so I mean, that's no problem. The consignment has to be released. And because the consignment has to be released, he's asking me to go and organize for its release. I never bought that, right?
Okay.
So, awaiting what?
Waiting for the outcome of the KEBS results.
So, these are the KEBS results. Bring that letter. What does the KEBS results say?
Yeah, just pass them.
Again, this is a screenshot of an email from the MD, Maisha Minerals, and to manage.
It's not a screenshot. That's a photocopy.
Right, it's a photocopy.
Of a letter.
So it says recall of non-compliant fertilizer, recall on non-compliant products in the batch.
It's written to who?
To the company. Managing Director, Maisha Minerals and Fertilizers Limited and all that. So in this particular one, what you're saying is that there was testing done by Kenya Bureau of Standards. What were the results of the test?
You've been to school. I'm telling you to read
what the
letter is saying.
Market surveillance have established that the product named NPK 10-2610, a planting fertilizer batch, number this and the other, failed to comply with the requirements of the standard nitrogen, phosphorus, nitrogen compound fertilizers 2019. Failed to comply with the standards.
Now I can explain.
Okay.
Right?
Explain.
So this is now after fertilizer has been released, and there is the messenger after discussion. We release awaiting the results from KEBS.
Yeah.
Later KEBS results, when you look at the dates, comes and tells us the fertilizer does not meet the standard.
So it's already in the market.
And it's already in the market, it has been consumed. Some of it has been consumed.
There is one thing that we still put it on Mithika Linturi. Linturi had a good chance to distance himself from all these things. But he looked at his job and he looked at Kenyans. Then he felt that it is better for him to keep his job, personal interest, and leave Kenyan farmers to suffer. So in as much as he's coming out to expose this regime, there is also a blame that we put on him. He had a chance to resign and say what he said today, that very day, when these things were happening. He had that chance. But he looked at his job and he felt his job is more important to him than the Kenyan people. Today he is here to share this information simply because he lost that job. He is also a man of questionable character. Just like William Ruto, I can say that again. So sharing this information, it is good, yes, but it does not clean him. In fact, it puts him where he belongs. Birds of same feather. There is no difference between Mithika Linturi and William Ruto, the president, if indeed what he's saying is something to go by. Of course, yes, farmers, unajua Kenya watu wengi tuko na mashamba, watu wa ushago kama sisi. Utakuwa na point moja unalima pale, utanunua mbolea. Mbolea, we were affected with this fake fertilizer. Mithika Linturi had information, DCI had information, but they were never sharing this information to the public. So that means DCI alifanya kazi yake, aka-impound this product. But one phone call from State House, it was again released to the market. KEBS, why were they delaying to release the information? But later, the information that came out was that it was a substandard product. That is the information. But the product, already through orders from State House, it was already in the market. That is your president who you anticipate to safeguard you, feeding you with such products. Remember, it was not just free product. They were making money out of this product. Watengeneze 20 billion, alafu warudi na handouts ya 5 billion na wako na 15 billion yenye mmewapea. Nani mjinga kati yetu? Voting for William Ruto is an indication of how stupid we are, if indeed it can happen in 2027. Voting for Mithika Linturi in whichever office he will be seeking, it also means the same thing, in my view.